it's Elizabeth here from Admin and More with another Friday Thoughts. This week, I just wanted to talk to you about my beginnings when I started my business. I was listening to the Stephen Barclay podcast, Diary of a CEO. I've literally just started, and he was talking about in episode 1 about the lonely road it is to be a business person. And I just wanted to comment on that, sort of to agree with what he was saying in this podcast. So do check it out if it's something that would interest you. But when I started my business, I came in with a totally wrong mindset of what a business owner was. I always thought that being a business owner was around how much money that you made, and that was how much more successful you were. But that's just simply not true. And it took me over a year of working really, really long hours. And it is a very lonely way to run your life, because everything's down to you. So if something doesn't happen, that's your fault. And so you can't blame anyone else. As much as you would want to try and find someone else to blame. In the end, it is down to you. Because if you don't make it happen, then the money's not going to come in. So, as I said, one of my beliefs was that depending on how much money you were, that was how successful your business was. And after that year, when I finally had a complete mindset shift, I think at that time I was listening to Tony Robbins and I realized that how happy you felt was how successful your business is going to be. So obviously I started my business in 2016. We're now in 2023 as I record this. And I now have 10 members of staff. I also have associates working with us. So I've really, really grown the business. But it has been a really lonely journey. And oh boy, do you have to put the hours in. And this was another misconception when I first started my business. I was an employee. I'd been an employee, obviously, all my life up until that point. And then, obviously, I left my job. I made the decision. I set my date. I left the job and then came into the entrepreneurial world. And oh boy, is it a shock when you realise that you're not going to get that regular paycheck anymore. And one of the things someone said to me, oh, well, when you start your business, you can work the hours that you want. You can have some free time. And again, that was a total misconception, because I wanted to build a successful business. That's what I always wanted to do. And so that when I left work and I realised I had no pay coming in, I just went out, networked morning, noon and night. And I always thought I worked hard at my paid jobs, like when I was an employee. But boy, did I work 10 times harder when I started the business. I was working 80, 100 hours a week. I was living and breathing the business. Well, now I still do work a lot of hours, not as many. I do have a better work-life balance. I do try not to work at weekends. There are times when it does seep in, because I'm always looking to grow my business and get the next best thing. I'm obviously undertaking a business coaching program, which has been amazing and has really transformed the business. And so that means I'm still working a lot of hours, but it's on my terms. And I do it because I want to now, not because I feel beholden to it, which is what happened in the beginning. And I did give up a lot of stuff. I just lived and breathed the business, didn't really go out. My poor husband, he was here all the time and thinking, when are we going to go out? When are we going out? But there was always another thing to do. So I would always encourage anyone who's thinking of coming out on the entrepreneurial road. It is exciting. When it goes well, it goes really well. And obviously you're going to have some down times when you're going to have no money. So it's whether you as a mindset can cope with that. If you can, then the entrepreneurial road is for you. And I would recommend it to anyone with the right mindset. I know many people that give up after a year because they hadn't realised how hard it was actually going to be starting out on your own. But always reach out to other business owners. They might become your mentor and things like that, just to get you that support mechanism. If you can, after a few years, when you know the direction of your business, get some business coaching. I've on an amazing business coaching program through Entrepreneur Circle. It's taken me 5-6 years to do that, because there is so much other stuff around there that you can look at and try and build your business. But now having the complete understanding what's going on in my business means that my staff now have the power to look after their own departments. They can look after the clients, and I know that everyone's being looked after in a really professional way. So by all means, please do start a business. It's really exciting, but be prepared at the hard work that you do have to put in for it. But if you want any help or want to ask any questions, if you want to band ideas around, get in touch with us in the normal way, and I'm happy to have a chat with you. So that's Elizabeth from Admin and More, and I look forward to seeing you next week on our next episode.